Welcome back to Cryptos Are Us. I'm George. We're all George. So, Bitcoin is pumping once again. It's above $52,000. But I'm here to give you guys a warning. There is a catch to this pump that may not be stopping anytime soon. So let's talk about it, and let's talk about what else is going on in the world today besides Bitcoin. Let's do it. Welcome, guys. Just take a look at that. Happy Valentine's Day, guys. Hopefully everyone has someone to squeeze and love today. If you don't, that's okay. Bitcoin is here to hug you. So look at this. Bitcoin pumped up to 52.5 earlier today. Went down a little bit. Now it's above 52.2. What did I say this morning? I said this morning, the next major resistance, okay, is this red line, 52.3. And I told you guys, I think that's the next stop for Bitcoin. We may just hover there for a little bit. Or maybe we won't. We'll just shatter through. Here's the thing. That's a very important, that's like the last level, guys. If you go back all the way to 2021, after breaking through 52.3, I mean, we're talking about 60,000 in no time. We may be seeing 60,000 by the end of this week. That's how crazy it is, especially with the information I'm about to share with you guys, right? I mean, things are moving very, very quickly. I mean, extremely quick. So hopefully you guys are paying attention and you have been taking advantage, because this is what happens when you have FOMO. When you have ETFs, and soon when you have the halving event, which is going to be even greater than now. Okay, that's exactly what's happening. When things move, they move really quickly. So unless you're a bear, you're not enjoying this. But if you're a bear, you're certainly getting F today. That's for sure. All right, so what's causing this to go up? Well, before I tell you guys what's causing it to go up, Gary Gensler went on Squawk Box. And I want to show this because Gary was just talking a whole lot of nonsense. I'm glad Squawk Box has Joe Kernan, who has turned Bitcoin bull. He goes up against everyone. He goes up against Jamie Dimon. He goes up against Gary Gensler. He does not give a F about who he's debating with. I wish Joe Kernan was a little bit more forceful with how he debates these guys. If I was debating Gary, I got to say, I would not try and toot my own horn. I would just totally give it to Gary. I would fight back with a million examples of how wrong he is. Well, let's just take a listen to this real quick, okay? This is worth listening to. So let me get the sound set up here. All right, let's do this.
By regulation.
Is that the problem, though? It's not necessarily Bitcoin, the underlying asset, but more the froth and the potential for fraudsters to use it that has been
This is a field, Becky, that's been rife with fraud and manipulation. And look at all the bankruptcies. And you've had on this set people talking about those various bankruptcies. And it's not just one entity. It's entity after entity after entity. And
real quick, I think he's referring to, of course, you know, like FTX and so forth, right? But what about the entities like the banks? What about all the banks, the hundreds of banks that went under in 2008? And what about the 3 major banks that went bankrupt in 2023? And the new one, the New York regional bank that's about to go bankruptcy. Right? So that's a horrible example. You like nitpick. He nitpicks some, of course, bad companies in crypto. But what about the banks? There's plenty of bankruptcies all over the place, right? So why don't we just shut down all the banks? And here's the other thing he's not answering. Well, you had these bankruptcies, right? But where were you? You were supposed to protect the consumers, right? You were supposed to prevent FTX from happening. So you can't just claim like, oh, yeah, they fell and it had nothing to do with me. No, you were supposed to protect us from that happening, right? So it's like, if I was on set right now, that's what exactly how I
bankruptcy court.
talk to Gary. It's like,
What do you make of, this goes to the underlying piece of this. You've heard Jamie Dimon say that he would close it down, that basically Bitcoin is, you've seen the comments, right? It's not just that he closed it down, that he would say it's, you know, used by drug dealers and used by folks who are doing all sorts of illicit and terrible things. There's very few things that trade today that people talk about like that. Now, there are obviously frauds and things that happen, but maybe not like this.
Like the dollar is like 100 times more.
Well, I know that's your perspective.
The dollar is used for fraud and money laundering and illicit activities and drug buying. Dollars are used way more than Bitcoin. See, Joe Kernan knows.
I'm curious how you think about that.
That's true, though. This is how much has been money laundered with Bitcoin. This is how much. This is Bitcoin. This is dollar.
Yes, Joe. But look, here's the Jamie Dimon quote. The only true use case for it is for criminals, drug traffickers, money laundering, and tax avoidance. I know, but we have a guest.
That's his opinion.
We have a guest, Joe. What is your opinion? And what is your opinion that we have something trading on the exchange for the public that has this type of use case, at least as described by the president of one of the largest financial institutions in the country?
It's the leading market share in ransomware, and that's publicly known.
Right.
You know, it's the token of choice for ransomware. Joe, if I can say, the U.S. dollar, the euro, the yen, you have the whole society using it as a medium of exchange. We buy our cups of coffee, as I see here. Right. We get
Bitcoin is a medium exchange now. You can use it to buy coffee too.
Paid in dollars or yen or euro.
You get paid in Bitcoin.
You have a whole central bank and support for one currency generally per economic region. That we don't have here. So there is a very real economic...
No, we do have that here. The only difference is we don't have a central bank like the Fed, right? But that's a good thing because the Fed keeps printing more dollars. That's why we have inflation. That's why we get robbed of our buying power, because they manipulate the dollar whenever they want. So in Bitcoin's case, we don't have that. That's a good thing. That's why it's a lot more decentralized than the banks. Again,
economic difference,
which is part of the attraction, since it's decentralized, and you can't have a profligate central bank.
It's not that decentralized, Joe.
Well, I know you're saying because of the ETFs, but really it is.
I mean, any intelligent Bitcoiner, even Pomp, you throw Pomp in there, he will destroy Gary. And I don't even know why they're having this conversation. Spot ETFs are already approved. It's not like they're debating and he's giving his opinion like why I don't want a spot ETF. What's the point of talking about it? Spot ETFs are approved by Gary Gensler and the SEC. Why are they still talking about this? This doesn't even make any sense. Right? If he was so against it, then he should have denied it. But guess why he didn't deny it? Because BlackRock and Larry Fink and everyone else called Gary and said, you better approve that or you're not going to get your next job, right? So like the whole argument against Bitcoin from Gary still doesn't make any sense anymore. Why they're still arguing, despite the fact we have spot ETFs out in the market. Anyways, that whole clip just got me really riled up. I mean, if I was ever invited on Squawk Box and I was debating Gary Gensler, I would absolutely destroy him. That's my opinion. Maybe not. Maybe he'll destroy me, but I don't think so. Anyways, speaking of ETFs, you know, I tweeted this out because I found this from Hodl 15 Capital. You know, ARK is the third biggest ETF right now in terms of Bitcoin. And today alone, just ARK added over $100 million. Okay, they're the third. And the third is a big difference between first and second for, you know, BlackRock and Fidelity, right? We don't have the total number of inflow, but it's going to be absolutely enormous because it was leaked out that BlackRock today alone added $750 million. What did I tell you guys this morning? I even predicted that. I said I would not be surprised if BlackRock adds about $750 million today. right? I'd even said that because yesterday they added 500 million. And seeing how today pumped, so, you know, just BlackRock and Fidelity, I mean, just BlackRock and ARK combined, you're talking about over 850 million. You add Fidelity's probably at 400 million. You're talking about over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin that was bought and now flew into the ETFs, right? Remember, I showed you guys this morning, you know, the escalation of buying, of the inflows into these ETFs. It's only going to keep on increasing, guys. It's not going to stop. That's the thing. It's not going to stop anytime soon. That's why we keep going up. It seems like Bitcoin does not want to come down. Why are we not falling? Why do the bears keep on complaining that they keep getting liquidated? It's simple. You have 12 ETFs that's buying more than $1 billion worth of Bitcoin per day. Per day. Okay, that's what's happening right now. Here's the warning I want to give you guys, and I've already said this. This is not unbelievable, and I've said this already many times. Yesterday, remember we had that little dip? Do any of you guys remember that little dip? The dip that, you know, yesterday morning we fell to like 48.3. Do any of you guys remember that? Well, I do. And I was complaining how a lot of people got very bearish, right? Look at what happened during that time. You have retail that absolutely panicked and sold how many? 15 billion or $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin? Why? Why? Just because we fell down 1,000 points? Retail got so scared and sold $1.5 billion of Bitcoin. Even some of the rich, okay, that whole 1 to 10 sold about $1 billion of the Bitcoin. But you know who didn't sell? The uber rich, the 10 to 100, they DCA'd, and the institutions that added 3 billion, 3.2 billion. Yeah. So this is the warning. I've been telling you guys this, okay? These big boys are FOMOing in. They're trying to play catch up. They're not going to stop. No matter what happens to Bitcoin right now, if we have another correction, they will continue to buy. Pretty soon, they will hold so much. The price of Bitcoin will be so high, it's basically a barrier for retail. Retail won't be able to afford any at all. To get up to one whole coin soon will be 6 digits. How many people can pull out $100,000 to buy one Bitcoin? And it just doesn't compute for so many. I've been saying it since $1,000, $3,000 in 2023 at $16,000 when it was still cheap. Now things are not so cheap. At $52,000, they are not cheap at all. And soon we will be at all-time high in $70,000, and soon we will be at $100,000, and it's virtually impossible for retail to buy at that point. And the only thing left are the alts for retail, right? But these big institutions, they are not going to stop. This FOMO train is going to continue, and that's why $60,000 could be right around the corner. We may even see all-time high $70,000 by halving event. I mean, I think it's that would be great, but I think we're moving a little too quick, but that may happen. So, I mean, just my point is just don't let all these big boys steal all of your Bitcoin, okay? That's what's happening right now. All the manipulation, all the fake outs or whatever that may be coming, it's all to get you to sell and to get them more Bitcoin, right? So don't do it. Now, there's other reasons why there's so much inflows into Bitcoin ETFs. Because people that hold gold ETFs are selling like crazy. They're selling boatloads. Because why would you hold gold ETFs when it virtually never moves and it's not even a good store of value anymore. It doesn't even hedge against inflation. If it can't hedge against inflation, what good is holding Bitcoin ETF, I mean gold ETFs, right? I get gold, physical gold, yes. You can use it as paperweight. Yes, you can hit someone over the head with it. But as for gold ETFs, there's not much you could do with it, right? So look at the massive outflows from all these gold ETFs. Massive, 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 massive outflows that are coming out at an alarming rate. And guess where the money is going into? Okay, I think this graph tells you exactly where it's going into. Gold ETFs. All the money is flowing into Bitcoin ETFs. That's exactly what's happening. There's an inverse relationship right now. That's another reason why there's so much money flowing into these Bitcoin ETFs and into Bitcoin overall. I mean, it takes an enormous amount for Bitcoin to even go up $1,000, which doesn't seem like a whole lot, but I can't even compute how much it takes to make Bitcoin go up $1,000. I mean, it must take tens of millions, no, hundreds of millions to make that happen. I mean, there's so much money going in right now. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Whales are skyrocketing. Look at that. You know, my camera had cut it off, but it's okay. You guys can see it. Whale accumulation is increasing by leaps and bounds. So, I mean, that's exactly what's happening with Bitcoin. Number of holders continue to go up. The holder wave shows that right now, basically all-time high. 79% of Bitcoin has not moved in 6 months. That's really, really high. So there's very little that are floating around, right? And here's the funny thing. Here's the exciting thing. As much as we have moved so far, we haven't seen nothing yet. So if you look at how we're moving right now, obviously we're not at a new high yet, but we're getting closer and closer and closer. And once things start really moving, it's going to look a lot like the left side. Okay, and that's when things get interesting. When Bitcoin breaks through 6 digits, 100,000, then things will get really interesting. So as good as it has been, it's going to get even better. It's going to get better, and that's why you need to strap on, guys, and hold on and move forward, because, man, we're going to have a great, great year, and it's only February. It's only the second week of February. Think about how much time there is still for this year. You know, thinking back in February 2023, it was dreadful. We just hit 16,000 and we're hovering at like 18,000 and hoping that the year ends so we could get to the halving event. This is not that year. This is 2024. We got 2 months until the halving event. We have the ETFs soaking up $1 billion of the Bitcoin per day now. Think about how fast things have changed. And it's only been 1 year, guys, since 2023. That's why, if you just expand out your time frame a little bit, you'll realize this is the fastest moving horse ever in history, and there's nothing close. All you have to do is have a little patience. That's it. Just a little patience and DCA along the way, and you're going to be doing just fine. Way better than others. Way better than others. All right. So that's what I want to talk about with Bitcoin. What else is there? Well, obviously, there's a lot of alts out there. Alts, I got to say, have been pretty weak. I mean, some have kept up with Bitcoin, right? But overall, alts have not been moving nearly as much as Bitcoin. But that's okay. That's okay. They will. They will start flying, right? It's not like they're really lagging. I mean, if you look at Ethereum, it's actually pretty good. Kept up with Bitcoin. Solana, a little bit behind, but overall, BNB kept up. Cardano, Avalanche kept up. Even Dogecoin kept up today. The others, not so much. But we do have some good winners. It's not like they're not moving. They're just not moving as much as a lot of people will want. But you know what? Yesterday I covered Solana's ecosystem. Today, let's cover Avalanche. Avalanche's ecosystem. Okay? Avalanche, you know what? They're doing a lot of great things. Okay? I've talked about institutions, and a whole bunch of institutions and banks want to actually utilize Avalanche. They have what's called Evergreen, which is basically they allow financial institutions to create their own subnet and utilize Avalanche for what it is. It's not just for games. You could use it for anything. For example, tokenization. Tokenization of what? Real world assets, right? So, for example, Citibank, they may be tokenizing soon. Hey, JP Morgan, even though they hate Bitcoin, right? They're looking at Avalanche to see if they could tokenize funds. So even though all these financial institutions hate blockchain and hate Bitcoin, well, they're still testing them out. So Avalanche is involved with a lot of institutions that may be utilizing the Evergreen subnet to do whatever they want, right? So there's that aspect. I talked about how Avalanche, they're doing the Durano Upgrade, which will make interoperability a lot better across the subnets. That's coming up. They have just added that to their test net, soon to their main net. And not only that, they're trying to scale, not only for interoperability, but let's try to make it as efficient as possible. So they are testing out how to scale up to 100,000 transactions per second, which is needed soon. With everything that's going on, they're going to need it, right? So a lot of upgrades going on, but right now what's happening, the games are taking over. There's a new one. Gensler launches a AAA shooter on Avalanche, okay? And this is on top of Shrapnel, on top of DeFi Kingdoms, on top of another one off the grid. Well, I mean, this is from the Gensler, right? But you got a lot of games that are onboarded and bring a ton of transactions. Look at DFK, 614 million transactions. Shrapnel, 7.2. Gensler, 2.3. And it's just the beginning. And of course, you got Beam. Beam also has a subnet, right? So you got everything that's happening on top of Avalanche right now. So that's absolutely fantastic, right? And of course, got the memes. You got the memes. You can't forget about the memes. For example, one of my favorite, and they reminded everyone today that everyone needs a little cock in you. But there's others, right? There's others, but cock is definitely leading the way, but there's others. There's Kimball and Husky and all these other ones. So Avalanche is pretty complete. They have the institutions, they have the games, they have the memes, they have it all. They have it all. They have it all. All right, guys. Let's do some Q&A. All right, let's see. I think I missed some super chats. I apologize. They've fallen off my screen. Let's see. Too much headroom on the camera. Sorry, I was slouching down. That's why. Sometimes I don't sit up straight. I should. Retro Bill says, this crypto thing might just catch on after all. Man, what happened to my camera again? I gotta do something and fix that. There we go. Stacks. I've been talking a lot about stacks. Stacks is skyrocketing as well. I mean, everything is doing very well. Okay, let's just be honest. Everything is going well. And today's Valentine's Day, puts everyone in a good mood, right? Oh, today is Wednesday. Today is DCA day. Man, what is? Man, this is going to be fantastic. Let me pull it up. Crypto Creme, not financial advice, but Gary Gensler is the fault of America right now. Be better. Why is it? That's not political advice. That's just fact. What can Beam do that IMX have done? What do you mean? Like go up? I mean, IMX is more focused on NFTs right now, but once their ZK EVM comes out, then they become a full-fledged chain. Market peak will melt our faces off. That is true, Johnny. How high do you think Bitcoin will go? I honestly, before I predicted, anywhere from 200 to 250,000. But the way we're moving, if we end the year at something crazy, I may be way off. We could be a lot higher. Astro, DEX with 100 million liquidity on Cosmos. I have seen them before, but hold on. Genesis got green light to sell 1.3 million in GBTC. No one cares. No one cares because it's not going to do anything. When the ETFs are adding $1 billion per day, it's nothing. Look at this. My overall jumped to 54%. Last week was like 38%. It jumped like almost 20% in a single week. Let's see. 17.2%. This is what I'm talking about, guys. DCA works. DCA and holding works. That's all you need to do. You don't need to do anything else. No fancy trading or nothing, although it's quite fun. I have some monster trades recently. Rich, thank you. But, I've been proving that my point with DCA. I've been doing this since 2021. Up all the way to the peak. Down all the way to the bottom. And back now up 54%. 54%. That's fantastic. So today, let's add some more, okay? What is still down? Almost everything is in the green. I did add some. I did remove some last week, right? So I made this list a little bit better, a little bit cleaner. I don't know why there's all these like weird logos. Look at Cock. Look at Cock up 43%. And I just added them just like not too long ago. A lot of these went up. I added Manta last week. It's up. Near Protocol is still down. Ooh, I might just get rid of there. Phantom is still down a little bit. Cosmos coming close to even. Polygon coming close. Cardano finally getting close. But all these other ones like Solana up 200%. Bitcoin up 92%. Ethereum is still trailing a little bit at 48%. Avalanche just got done talking up 84%. Stacks up 219%. Told you guys, Bitcoin goes up, Stacks is going to go up, right? Up 219% with Stacks already. You got others like Immutable up 155%, Beam up 80%. Celestia trailing a little bit, 25%. Fetch AI, I don't even really talk about them, up 199%, so they're doing really well. Down here, you got some losers. Arweave has not really picked up at all. Flow, DeFi Kingdom's a little bit down, but I think it'll come back up. ApeCoin, man, I really just want to give. I really want to give up on ApeCoin, but I think they're gonna come back once they release their NFTs. They're gonna come back. I mean, their metaverse. But even Helium up 73%. It got some real winners here. I think Pith is a good one. I haven't added Pith, but I do think they're going to be a monster. I also think that I may be a little underweight in, yeah, I'd say I'm a little underweight in like Sui and Say. I'm going to add a little more to them as well. Brad Lemon, I'm well ahead. Should I take profits now or should I wait? I can't tell you what to do, man. If you don't have any cash on the side, you want to have some cash, go ahead and do so. What about Pokler Gaming Play? No, I gave up on them a long time ago. All right, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to add, what did I say? I'm going to add a little more Sui. Let's just do $33, 1.89. So 17.4. And then, what's the other add on here? And Myro's still down a little bit. I'll add some Say too. Both of them are neck and neck. So I think they're both kind of on the same trajectory here. $33 divided by 0.9111, and I gotta add 36.219. Yeah, and I gotta add Pith, which I am not added yet. So I actually want to add a little bit more. So 52 point. Yeah. All right. So this week added Pith, Say, Sui. I actually should get rid of some of these, but I'll just leave it. I'll just leave it for now. Cardano. Come on, Cardano. Need to turn green. Polygon these two have been really stagnant. Really hope they catch up. Same thing with Cosmos. Phantom, I don't know. I'm kind of neutral on Phantom. I'm tempted to sell them for some of these others, but I guess I'll keep them for now. And same with Near. Kind of disappointed with Near. But that's it. Like I said, guys, DCA works. All right, let's see if I missed anything. Randy says, I guarantee I'm holding more cock right now than anyone in this chat. Good for you, man. Be proud of that. I think you'll be missing out a lot on ICP, Multiverse, and Polkadot. No, I don't think so. I don't think I'm missing out a lot on those. Make altcoins great again. Don't worry. Altcoins will get their chance. Okay? The money will flow out and they'll go into everything else. So today is a good example. Like, hey, ETH is moving a little bit more than Bitcoin. We haven't seen that in a long time. But, kind of neck and neck right now. Johnny, want your opinion on exit strategy while things are calm compared to later? This will be my first harvest. I've been in since 2020. Would you sell everything off or hold on to a few for next round? I would hold on to a few for next round. That's. I'm not suggesting what you should do, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that as we go higher, I'm going to take profits, make sure my cash pile is what I said before. I think a good percentage, around 25-30%. But as we go higher and higher, Bitcoin starts going to 200, 300,000. I want to take more cash out. Get it that to 50%, maybe a little bit higher than that. But I'm always going to keep some in crypto because this cycle may be the last cycle we go down. Maybe we just have super cycles. Maybe we just only go down 30 or 40% in 2026, and then we just keep on going again. these ETFs are soaking up all the Bitcoin out there. It's really hard to see any catastrophic drops like before when so much of the supply is being held by the institutions. So, you know, I think it could be different this time around. It could be, not saying it will. It could be different. Did you see Mondelez join Hedera Governing Council? Is that name supposed to mean something to me? I don't know who that is. Anyone, I appreciate it. Scott wants you guys to know that there will be another video on Cryptos R Us Plus from Noah. Make sure you watch it. I know he's a little dry, but he has some good TA skills. So we'll see what he says tonight. That's Cryptos R Us Plus right after this. I can't buy cock. Nice says, I'm a U.S. resident. Why? You go on Trader Joe like everyone else. You need to know how to use a wallet like MetaMask. You need to know how to put some AVAX in there. And then you need to go to Trader Joe, connect your wallet, and trade. So you can't always expect, especially if you want to get into memes, you can't always expect to buy them on Sexes. You have to buy them on Dexes. You have to know how to use your own self-custody wallet. Have you done any research with SLPs on Sol? Like, what kind of research are you talking about? Stacks up 30%. Man, I should have threw a leverage trade on there. You guys want to see my massive leverage trade on Bitcoin? One of my biggest ever. I made some money on Stacks earlier, but I sold out. I don't think I had any on there. On Stacks right now. Can I use Sexes on my cock? Ivan says. Yes. Do 100% leverage on Sol. I've been playing Sol a lot. They've been making me little money, but I just posted this. This is my monster BTC trade, and I still have this open. It's not the biggest percentage, but I put a lot into Bitcoin because I just know it's gonna go up. So I'd say that's a pretty good win so far. King Head. I don't think you want to see it. SLPs are liquid NFTs. New meta. Is that using the new? It's using the new standard, right? The new Solana standard. To be honest, I'm not like a super degen NFT guy. So there's probably the newer standard. Even Wen is using a new standard. Yeah, I haven't touched it yet. Yeah, my biggest winner so far is Blanc. I didn't close out that. Wait, no, I did. I did close out. That was like 6 figures. This Bitcoin one is pretty big too. I'm telling you guys, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I've lost massively before too, but now these wins are massively. I have a good strategy with my leverage trading. And a lot of it is just gut feel too, and don't be scared to take some losses. Don't be scared to set a lot of stop losses. I think you ride the winners. Like, that's really what it comes down to. ALU Altura. I don't remember this project. I don't know what they do. Ultimate platform or building scaling Web3 games. Oh, yeah, I remember this. I remember it, but I just don't know if anyone's using it. That's the thing, you know. A lot of game makers, they don't need to use like white label solutions. They just do it, you know. They know how to program. Do I DCA into cock by length? I don't know. I don't know. Ask your girl which is preferable. Remember that E46 M3? I do remember. I had that card too. I had a white one. Nice. You sold it and put a majority of it into BTC. Sold, best decision ever. You're up. Oh, did you put it on the AIT? Because AIT is doing very good. They're an AI play. They're gonna be in the first AI play on Bit Sensor I saw. So they're doing really good. So if you put it into AIT, then you're up massively. Even though it sucks to sell your favorite car, but if you're making money, you're making gains, soon you'll be able to buy 2 E46 M3s. Is API 3 good play? Well, they're a smaller Oracle, so I don't know. Well, maybe. I think Cardano uses API 3. Pith is at 1 billion now, so they're 400 million. They're not small. I expected to see like, 100 million. No, but they're up 400 million. Could be a good play. I mean, oracles are hot right now. Whether or not they actually do have momentum, I think oracles are just blowing up because of Chainlink and Pith. Squirrel Master, big bag of XRP. What do you think I should do when everything is pumping? I can't tell you what to do. What do you want to do? Do you want to sell it and put it into something that's moving versus something that's not moving? I don't know. But you know what? To give XRP some credit, they're up 6% today. They're up 6% to outperform Bitcoin. That almost never happens. It feels like crypto FOMO. That's exactly what it is. And this is like, you know, very little FOMO. Nuco Cloud, very, very small. Skynet, world's first decentralized mesh superscaler. You know, yeah, they should just not call it Skynet. And I don't know what decentralized mesh hyperscaler means. Your launchpad to personalized and unlimited decentralized computing power. Okay, so they're like Flux, smaller play. Yeah, not much opinions on it. If we want to degen 1500 on BTC, when is the best next position? Oh, I don't know. I think it might consolidate here for a while. Okay, I mean, this is the next stop, this 52.3. We may just stop here for a little bit, or we may just blow past and get to 60,000 in no time. But I think we may stop here a little bit. We have come up very far, very fast. So this would be a good time, I would say, before our FOMO train starts moving. I showed you guys this morning, right? We haven't seen this level since here, December of 2021. And look at where we were before. We were at 60,000 before we fell to these levels. So, you know, after this, it's going to start moving real quick, guys. Like, we actually haven't been above 52.3 for long. Like, very short stints back in 2021. Okay. So, I think we might consolidate here for a little bit. And then when we're ready, or maybe we don't because the ETFs add so much buying pressure. Like, maybe we don't. We just keep on going. Then 60,000 could be around the corner. If you look at it from a technical standpoint, and the daily RSI is pretty high. So again, it makes sense that we consolidate here a little bit. 4 hour, it's high, but it's not that high. 1 hour actually came down. So you know, we may have a little more room to grow. 52.3. Just keeps on going. Do I day trade sometimes? I swing trade. Like, I just throw a lot of leverage plays. I don't really like spend all the time to look at all the charts like 8 hours a day. I look at it, you know, maybe for a half hour, hour a day, throw some trades. If they're looking bad, I quickly close them. I set stop losses now when I go to sleep. So if we have a, you know, sudden drop, I lose a little bit, but I don't get liquidated. And I just place a lot of bets. And sometimes they work out really well. Make a video on gold as paperweight and XRP wrap. George, how many ETH are you holding? It would surprise you. Very, very little. Very, very little. I converted most of my ETH to Sol and others. What is Zeta and CKB? They're up a lot. Why? No idea. Nervos is an old project. No idea why they're going up. Zeta chain is a new chain that's supposed to be a bridge between multiple chains. No idea why they're going up either. Sometimes they just get pumped. Sometimes things just get pumped. Like cock, you know? Who doesn't enjoy a pump? It's a good looking chart right there. Are you bullish on any ADA ecosystem projects? You know, to be honest, the most bullish one is SNEC. I'm not that familiar with all the other ones within ADA. So I'm still supporting and rooting for SNEC. I still hold a large bag of SNEC. So I hope they do well. But like, I don't quite know about the other projects within Cardano. Are you still expecting a dump before halving? No, I've never said that. No, someone else said that, not me. I said this morning, it doesn't need to happen. You know, when things get too hot, of course, we get a quick consolidation, a quick dump, but then we just go right back up. Man, I can't wait. If today we had over $1 billion flow into ETFs, tomorrow it's going to be even more crazy. Tomorrow is going to be like $1.5 billion. I mean, this is what I've been warning you guys about for a long time. BlackRock and these institutions, they want all of your Bitcoin. They may be the ones behind some of the FUD. Some of the nasty drops, manipulations we have seen. But you know what? They're not scared. They keep on buying and buying and buying and buying. Right? That's why when we had that little dip the other day, look at who sold. Retail sold. But look at who bought. Institutions. Right? So, man, don't transfer your wealth to the institutions. And look at the last 30 days too. Look at the last 30 days. Where did all the Bitcoin go? Institutions. $56 billion went to institutions. Last 7 days, $20 billion went to institutions. The last day alone, $3.2 billion. Do you guys see a pattern? Institutions are buying and buying and buying and buying. Pretty soon, there won't be cheap Bitcoins anymore. I mean, you could argue it's not cheap at all anymore. But still, at least you could get some, you know, you get 0.1 Bitcoin for at least $5,200. Where did I leverage trade? Several places. I've been mixing and matching. Tapit is the new one I'm experimenting, but most of my money is on MEXC, so I still use MEXC. But it's not open to U.S. residents anymore unless you use a VPN. But BingX also is another one, and then Taproot or Tapbit. I'm sorry, not Taproot. Tapbit. Tapbit is still no KYC, open to U.S. residents, pretty good. So I've been experimenting with all of them, and so far so good. Dogald Trump. I'm not going to repeat what you said. Why would it consolidate so soon, 56K? I mean, it always needs to consolidate, man. Sometimes Bitcoin needs to take a breather. It can't go up infinitely forever. Sometimes, it's just too overheated and just needs to take a break, and that's consolidation. Sometimes you have a lot of bears placing a lot of sells at a certain level, too. So that also causes, a consolidation point. Medicaid marketing, February 18th. No idea who that is, Hayden. By the way, in case you guys are wondering, Ferrari does take Bitcoin now. I text my local salesperson and asked him, are they ready? He's like, yes. So in this bull run, if you guys turn into Bitcoin millionaires, multimillionaires, whatever millionaires, centimillionaires, you want to buy Ferraris, you can, straight with Bitcoin. And it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Phil Moore. Phil, are you in here? I've been trying to get my local Honda dealership to accept Bitcoin too. What do you think about Think Inc? What do you think of the 24 Type R? I think it looks great. There's a couple of them at my local Honda dealership. I actually want to buy one and use it as a prop or as a prize for a video idea. I don't know, what would be better? Would people prefer something like a Civic Type R or like a CRV, or would they just take the cash equivalent or the crypto equivalent? I think people would take the crypto equivalent, but who knows? I need to do something like a Mr. Beast video where I give away a car or something. But I can't come up with a really good idea yet. But I will do something at TWC for sure. I got a couple ideas at TWC. So if you guys come to TWC, I'll throw a couple unique challenges for people that attend to win some prizes. So yeah, got a lot of speakers and projects coming to this. Type R. I guess you guys rather have a Type R than a CRV. CRV is more practical, but no one looks forward to winning a CRV. Hey George, Christopher asks, think Larry Fink found infinite money glitch with BTC ETFs? Yeah. You know how much money they're making from the fees, man? It's crazy amount. Even though they're charging 0.2%, 0.2% on $1 billion in volume per day, and it's only going to increase and eventually go up those fees. Whew. BTC ETFs are the fastest growing ETFs ever in history. In history. By a long shot. It's not even close. Do you think Cake will do anything? Cake has been doing well. It has not been lagging that much. Oh, I take that back. They actually have been lagging a lot. They're only 659 million. Really off from their high. I don't know. They're still the biggest DEX on BNB, on Binance Chain, but I guess Binance Chain kind of slowed down a little bit. Yeah, I don't know, Cal. Hopefully they do get their footing again. Just a guy. Isn't a fee an annual maintenance fee? There's more than that. And that's different from custody fees. So there's loaded fees that's hidden and buried in between. So when you make a trade, you don't even realize it, you know. But it's all like built in there. That's the downside to ETFs. But the good side is very easy to acquire, and anyone could do it. You could even use your own 401k and retirement funds to buy Bitcoin ETFs now, right? Man, Bitcoin just wants to keep on going. Look at that. Look at the candle. I think it's going to consolidate here a little bit, but I might be wrong. We wake up tomorrow to 55,000, 56,000 Bitcoin. Maybe Asia FOMO's in or something, but it doesn't look like this. It wants to stop. Why for you? I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Ron Paul, stop it. I thought you were going to say something insightful until I read the last part. Not going to repeat it now. Oh, man. I'm laughing way too hard at that joke, and I'm not even drunk. Fruits and Veggies says, weekly has never closed above the golden pocket, about to be bullish as F. Everything that I'm seeing and reading, everything is bullish as F. I had a Patreon member today tell me that he has someone that knows someone within BlackRock. And this is hearsay. I don't know how true it is. But that one person in BlackRock said that it's crazy. They're buying so many Bitcoins per day now just to keep demand, you know, to keep up with demand. It blew away their expectations. It's moving way faster than they expected. And they believe that things are going to get wild, especially after the halving event, right? So supposedly, this is someone from within BlackRock that shared this. And based on what I'm showing you guys of the ETF inflows, it makes sense. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars flowing in now. Hundreds of millions of dollars. Soon, billions of dollars. It's going to be wild. William reviews Yearn Finance. I think this is going to hit 500K this cycle. It probably won't. Yearn is tricky. I don't know. I have not kept up with them. I don't know if they've done anything differently. They were hacked like 4 or 5 times before, led by Andre Crony, and they're a liquidity provider, I believe, or leverage provider, one of the two. Just not something that I follow closely. Whew. All right, guys. I'm going to let you guys go. Go spend some time with your Valentine. Or go stare at your phone some more and watch Bitcoin go higher. Either way, guys, okay, I'm warning you guys. Don't let BlackRock eat all of your Bitcoins, okay? Don't be like these retail people that have sold yesterday or the last 7 days or last 30 days. Why would you do that? Look at how much BlackRock and Fidelity and ARK are buying. warning to you guys, soon it's going to get too expensive to buy Bitcoin or sats. Don't let that happen. Okay, so stay strong, guys. Stay focused. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. No, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right. Do you see COT going to 1 billion? Yes, probably. Have a good night, guys. Take care.